Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And today we're going to look at the Tangle Trangle from CZT Jody Genovese. Say that 5 times fast. Woo. All right, so this is a neat tangle. And I thought I grabbed a newer pen. Not so much. I'm like, I don't see any nib on there at all. Do you? All right, here's a different one. I know it works. Okay. With a little bit more nib. Okay, so this is it's a neat tangle. And I've seen this one floating around for a while and just, I don't know what I was thinking. I was like, oh, I don't know about that. And sometimes, just take a look at the step outs. This is what I'm telling myself. See how it's constructed, and go from there. Okay. So this one starts off with a triangle in the center of wherever you want it, and then we're essentially going to hollow out triangles coming from each of the points. And there we go. Now, one of the things that I noticed, let's see, I want to look at, this is where it's fun to play with the angle that they're coming out at, because what I was noticing in Jody, mostly in the step out, because it's hard to tell in the actual work, but what I noticed is the triangle that's hollowing, the second step here, it's almost like you want to have room for one more, or not. It's still okay, right? But this, I'm just telling you what I was noticing, because and just as I said that, I look back at Jody's work, I'm like, okay, well, maybe not so much on all of them. Okay, so never mind what I just said. All right, so do these triangles hollowing underneath each of the points, and then we're going to aura those. However you like. What's really interesting too is I first thought, well, I was like struggling with getting the triangle hollowed behind. It's like my brain just didn't want to lock into, okay, like here's the point, and and do it from there. So I thought, oh, well, maybe if I did, and I'll just do it here, maybe if I did this line first, and then I could come in and meet. And I didn't really like how that was working out, so I just decided, no, just pretend, just make it a triangle. It's okay. Anyway, and I share that because that might work for you better. Do that line first, and then then come in. So in the samples, and then this one, you just keep boring as far as you want. But what I had noticed, and if you take a look at the For More Inspiration link in the description section, there was a neat effect in where these all meet up. And I was trying, I'm like, well, wait, how do I get that effect? I like that effect. Where everything is kind of gathering together. And that's where I was looking at the distance, of this, the first, or actually it'd be the second step, right? This triangle. And I was like, okay, if it's a little bit more towards the center, where you're not leaving a lot of room, and then you're kind of coming out of the center, then you get that neat effect. But like I said, in just now looking back, I was like, oh, well, she didn't really do that isn't that way on all of them, so it's okay. But you see here, yeah, it's like, I just like that effect of, where they're all coming together. So again, this one, you can just pull these out for as much room as you have, and have fun with them. I'm just going to do, I think, this one more. Like that. Now, she also shares a variation, and it's kind of neat. So let me show you that one. So that same thing, triangle in the center. I made my corners a little more rounded on purpose because so what she's done is instead of it being sharp points like this, you can, make them more curved. I am finding that it's sort of helpful to have this point pointing at me so I can, make that the rest of the triangle. But that it's just sort of working for me. And then the same idea. Keep aura-ing. And I would, of course, do these, one right after another. Just keep turning your tile. So that way you see where it starts meeting in the middle. And then, you just keep putting your line in that center and have it come out of there, wherever there ends up being. If that makes any sense. I kind of like this. I do like wacky. I don't know why this makes me think 50s. I don't know why. Mid-century, as some like to say. I remember the first time I heard that, I'm like, what? What? Oh, let's do one more. What the heck? And if they get too big, you do have to kind of, as I just found out, it's like, really help if you readjust your hand. And I apparently like to draw them this way, but see, coming out this way felt totally uncomfortable. And I should have, after the first time, should have then said, don't do that again. It was rather uncomfortable. There we have it. So then it is up to you how you might want to decorate these. Again, looking at the For More Inspiration link, that way you can see how you might want to, to have fun with it. Let's see. Let's do this because I really like. Oh, let's do it on this one. On one of the samples, I like how she did this, just kind of cutting off, making a little triangle out of the tips. Oh, something that you could think of, because this just made me think of that. If you've done the Tangle Tripoli, there's a ton of ways to decorate that. And in the Zentangles, in their step out, I think I'll have to double check it. And because it could just be in my information to see if they publish that. And I've done the Tangle. I've done a video on it, so I'll have to go back and look, because there was just, a ton of ways that you could decorate the inside of Tripoli, and you could take some of those ideas and play with it here. Or if you happen to have the primer, Zentangle Primer Volume 1, I hope they come up with a Volume 2. That's where they introduce the idea of fragments and reticula, and you could take a triangle fragment, and put it in there, and that's fun. Let's see, one other thing that I would maybe do on this one. Let's get a thicker pen. There's so many ways that you can, let's finish filling that in, that you could decorate this. Let's do the second to the last one, and we'll do some perfing. I like to use a thicker nib pen, because then you can just tap it. And you could, I guess, modify the level of tapping to get the desired dot. But I'm using the graphic one. But it is a great, an extra use for having an extra good reason to go out and make sure you have a graphic one. Maybe you have, you know, the 01, 05, 08, 10, 12, you know, a whole set. Okay, so that looks neat. Let's do some, well, actually, let's let that dry a little bit. I was thinking on this one, maybe just do just shading. That, you know, actually that's a good idea. Maybe I'll leave that, the other one, just the way it is. And here, you know what, I'll do it because I already know. I'm gonna put some graphite where these lines gather, but I'm going a little, quite a bit heavy. All right, and let's go around that triangle. And these are just ideas. There's all kinds of ways that you could come up with to shade this if you want to. I like this because it makes, look at how it just makes that pop right off of the page. And then here, just kind of accentuating where all of these guys gather. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's take it around the curve a little bit, maybe. Yes. Yeah, and so you can, I mean, so many ways you can have fun with this. Actually, just using what's left on the Tortillion here to kind of move it up and around. We'll make it a little shiny. Yeah. Now, this one, though, does make me think of like a biohazard or something. It's a very decorative biohazard symbol. But yeah, super neat. Super neat. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. And I really feel like I need to shade that one, though. It's kind of screaming it, isn't it? This one is a lot. Let's just do some, just a tad. Not, this one's a little over the top. So we'll just do a little. Just because it, I don't know. When you get used to shading, it's just like everything needs it. Somehow. It just does. Oh, yeah, just like that. That's enough. Okay, very good. All right, so again, if you enjoyed this, please click on the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. In that description section, as I mentioned, you will find links to the step outs for these. I always do my own version and then share from the creator of the Tangle. Below that, ways to connect with me. So you will find my link tree, and there, in that link tree, when you click there, you will find everything that I want to share with you. Link to my website where you can follow my blog if you'd like. And on the blog, right now, I do a daily tangle. That's what this is. And then send out recaps when after classes, and you know, to show here's what we did. And so that's pretty much it right now. But there's also, you know, social media. I pretty much at the moment live on Facebook. I do visit the others. It's just not as regular as I'd like, but I just want to let you know that. But feel free to connect. On Facebook, I have both link to my page where you can follow me. I post classes there as well as on the other couple links that are listed. And then I also post that on our Tangle Addicts community group. So if you'd like to join our group, we have a lot of fun and a lot of amazing tangling. It's just such a wonderful group of people. There are 4 questions that you have to answer to gain entry, just to let you know. And I think that's it. I do classes. Most of them are free. If you don't see a price on the graphic, that means it's free. I just don't put free. I don't know why. I just don't. So you'll see on my probably mostly, well, on my website as well as on the Facebook page, I don't think you see the past stuff. So there you can see on my website. That's probably the best place. If you want to see the types of things that I do and what's coming up, you can check there. And yeah, come join us. All right. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.